Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, friends. Have you ever experienced an atmosphere of Saturday study that is totally uninteresting to observe? Let's see how your teacher was teaching back then. Have you ever felt learning along with musical instrument? Or feel learning along with suggestions that make you imagine yourself acting out, like doing drama, role playing, or even playing game while the material is taught? Which ones? So in this video, we will discuss one closely related method called suggestion of the Suggestopedia method.
Earlier, I want to say something that I thought it was important to explain. It's about how was the background of this method created.
In 1978, a psychiatrist from Bulgaria named Dr. Georgi Lozanov gives a lecture in Europe relating his research about what we now call Suggestopedia. Dr. Lozanov's conclusions are astounding and set in motion events that will change many of our basic beliefs about effective teaching methodology.
This method was developed in 1978 by Georgi Lozanov, who was a Bulgarian psychotherapist and teacher through his book Suggestology and the Outlines of Suggestopedia. The background of thinking that drives this method is created because Lozanov's belief that students are able to maximize their mental or mind. So learning becomes effective and the result of their learning are maximum. Lozanov also believes that humans can only use 5 until 10% of their thinking ability to learn. Therefore, to have a full use or 100% of students' thinking ability or mental, the students must be given a suggestion. When learning a language, the greatest challenge is when students think that they can't learn the target language, can't use the target language properly, and can't apply the target language in the real situations. Surely, that stuff would impede the development of learning their language. Therefore, Suggestopedia appears with various suggestions capable of increasing students' motivation to learn the target language and increasing the results of his learning. So, based on the background itself, Lozanov defined that Suggestopedia as a teaching system which makes usable the possibilities standard suggestions can be offered. The suggestions here is about something that can make students feel enjoy in teaching and learning process. Talking about purpose, this method has a purpose to make the students feel comfortable, relaxed, and undepressed in learning. Why should you use music? Nice question.
It's difficult to explain in a few words, but I could tell that learning foreign languages by this system, we are applying some kind of arts, music.
Because the music isn't integrally involved with the German language. Why do you have to have
The music is getting a psychological state we need to open the mind, to discover the reserves of mind, to help the brain and the mind to accept more information. And music is creating not only conditions to open the mind on a better level, but also music is helping us to better the process of education. At the same time, teaching and learning the students, we are giving them a better education.
Lesson believes that music will greatly help the students in the process of giving suggestions. Along with it, it will make students feel relaxed and not anxiety in learning.
Before starting class, to increase the influence of suggestions, then the class must be decorated with supportive ornaments. As an example, like if it's study about New York, then the class must be decorated with a picture or ornament that is connected to New York, like Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, or other things that connected to New York. Then after that, the class of Suggestopedia can begin. This Suggestopedia can begin by discussing the topic to be taught, such as giving literature or dialogue, and discussing the grammar that contained in the literature or the dialogue. For example, the teacher gives the dialogues about traveling to New York. Then, the teacher will discuss the vocabulary pertaining to the dialogue to supplement the students' understanding about the dialogues given. Then, the teacher can discuss about other things or give exercises to students to support the students' understanding of the dialogue. The activities continue by dividing the students into two groups, which are visitors and local residents. Then the activities follow by playing classical music, such as Mozart instrumental music, Beethoven, and so on. In conjunction with the act of suggesting that the students are expected to listen to music and suggest while keeping their eyes shut in order to internalize with suggestions given. Suggestions given can be word of motivations, like suggestions that students are now somewhere doing something. Suggest to students that they are on their way to New York. Then the suggestions continue by encouraging students to arrive in New York. They must confidently use the target language in order to interact with the people there. Then the teacher suggests that a large number of visitors will ask about their city, and they should be able to explain it in English. Then the teacher told the student to open their eyes and say that they had arrived in New York. Then the activities could continue with speaking activities, where students become tourists and some become native. Then they ask about buildings in New York, such as Statue of Liberty or Empire State Building.
What is the advantage and lack of this method?
The advantages of using Suggestopedia method in the class is: the first one, teacher can be optimal to elaborate the material by using the instrumental music to make students' interest. Number two, students are happy to join the class when the setting of the class is different and colorful. Number three, Lazarov says that students will have good memorizing of vocabulary if the class using the Suggestopedia method. If there are advantages, there's also disadvantages. Here's some of the disadvantages of using Suggestopedia method in the classroom. Number one, the teacher should spend more time to prepare the class setting before the class begins. Number two, not all schools supported the aids to teach using the Suggestopedia method. Number three, It is more complex to prepare the material rather than other method. Number 4, the students may disturb other students if they are making noise in the classroom.
Yeah, that's the end of our video. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.